Good morning, Royal We Fellowship. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Royal We Fellowship. It's so good to be here with you. We are starting a little bit late today. Apologize for that. But we're going to go ahead and jump on in. We are in Exodus chapter 31. And I'm going to go ahead and say good morning here. Good morning. Couple of things before we get started. Some announcements while people are starting to sign in. Number one, there is an online class tomorrow. So once again, for those of you who have not had an opportunity to take the online class, you'll be able to jump in it tomorrow, Sunday. I'll be sure to put the link. In fact, what I'm going to do this. Can I do this right now? I'm going to put the link in here because I think it's important that we get this link in here for Sunday's class. I'm going to copy this. Here we go. Sunday class. If anybody's interested in it, there's the link. I'm going to pin it to the top. Okay, so I pinned Sunday's class to the top of the page. This class is it's an excellent class that helps people to understand narcissism in this modern day. It also gives an ancient perspective of really what we're up against and how to understand it and what the process of freeing yourself, what it's really all about, why it's so painful. So it's a class that I encourage everybody to take. Again, the link is now pinned to the top. That's going to be tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So with other announcements, before we get started, obviously, Royal We videos are going to be posted all throughout the week. Coaching options available, all that stuff as well. So once again, welcome. Good morning, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Saturday. We are still in the book of Exodus. Exodus, we are learning how God takes people out of a very oppressive environment because the people in Egypt were oppressed. His people, all people, became oppressed in Egypt. When we say all people, we mean everybody who wasn't Egyptian. It really became an impressive, and even the Egyptians themselves, other than those who were in the rulership, were also oppressed. So basically, it looked like a society that was built on the royal family, so to speak, the Pharaoh and the Pharaoh's family. Then underneath that were the regular Egyptians, and then all the mixed multitude who were all basically slaves. All people were oppressed. And so God has taken the Hebrew people, the mixed multitude of people, which probably included some of the Egyptians, by the way. Okay? It's a mixed multitude of people who were tired of the oppression, tired of being in Egypt, led them out. God has been instructing them through Exodus a new way of living, what it's going to be like to be clean, what it's going to be like to be pure, what it's going to be like to be ferocious as individuals living for God, what it's going to be like to be intimidating, an intimidating presence, not a part of Egypt, not a part of the world. God is creating a brand new community, a brand new people, and it's not an easy task. Just like when you and I, and we come out of toxic relationships, we come out of abusive environments, all we know is what we were in. All we know is the family that we came from. All we know is that past relationship that was not a good relationship. It was part of the world, part of our former life. We come out of that, and we are learning things brand new, right? We're starting over. That's where we are at. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Today, we are in Exodus 31. Now, Exodus 31, then the Lord said to Moses, now, the Lord is interacting with Moses, giving rules, giving instructions, how to build the tent, how to build the city, how to wear the clothing, how to dress. And what we've seen in the last chapters is that the Lord is very much interested in people looking their best, looking intimidating. There's nothing, listen, as we've talked about this, and this is so fascinating to see because we live in a culture and a generation where most modern churches have adopted this, hipster, ripped jean type look, and there's nothing ferocious. There's nothing intimidating about the presence of today's modern Christian believers. Nothing. They, I believe that they've taken this image of Jesus, the Messiah, as this poor beggar type of look, right? And that's became the feel of Christianity. What's interesting is that God, prior to that, is instructing people, no, 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 you are going to look fabulous. You are going to look unapproachable. You are going to have this clothing. You're going to be adorned in a way that's going to make you intimidating to other people because you need to be, right? People are going to treat you and talk to you and come up to you and approach you based on what they see in a lot of ways. And so, and they're going to have these thoughts of you. This plays a part into, oftentimes the inappropriateness of certain looks and stuff like that in clothing in modern Christianity. Sometimes with the ripped jeans, well, then that can turn into the short skirts and whatever else. And well, now people's just mindsets are kind of torn, right? What are they there looking at? What are they there to see? So God was very specific with them, saying, no, you're going to dress this way, especially when you're before me, because I need your attention. Okay? So we've established all that. Not only that, but God has instructed his people on how to build tents, on how to layer, how to build the ark of the covenant. It's going to be made of gold. They had all kinds of beautiful things and skilled workers. This is an area where we see God saying, find the skilled workers in each area, those who can sew, those who can dye meaning color things, those who are carpenters. We are going to be building as a community. And so in this, God has something for everybody to be a part of using their skills, which is important to understand that all of us coming together, everybody has a different skill. Some of you are painters. Some of you are musicians. Some of you are skilled carpenters. Some of you know how to make clothing. This is the area where people come together and they're starting to build their society, okay? But they're doing it with the Lord's instructions, and what they're building is something awesome. Exodus 31, then the Lord said to Moses, see, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, with all kinds of skills, to make artistic designs for work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of crafts. All right. Moreover, I have appointed Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, and the tribe of Dan, to help him. Also, I have given the ability to all the skilled workers to make everything I have commanded you. It's interesting. We're talking about the skilled workers. We're talking about the craftsmanship. We're talking about those who are artists, those who have knowledge of skills, wisdom, understanding, right? Working with gold, silver, bronze. One of the most important things to understand is that your skills that are by nature are a gift given to you. God is telling us here in Exodus, look, I have given these people, I have appointed these people, I've given them abilities and skills to make everything I have commanded you to make. The tent of the meeting, the Ark of the Covenant, the atonement cover on it, and all the other furnishings of the tent, the table and its articles, the pure gold lampstand and all of its accessories, the altar, the incense. God is saying everything, I have given the skills and people to make these things. Oftentimes, we get stuck in this place of, am I educated enough? Do I have enough schooling to do what I do? Do I have my 10,000 hours of my craft? Does it say anything in here about these people having 10,000 hours of their craft? Does it say anything about them getting degrees? Does it say anything about them having to go to college? No, it says God has given them the gift, the ability to do what they do. There's something in your life that you gravitate towards and you do it well. Perhaps that's painting. And when you get that paintbrush and you touch that paintboard with it, something magical happens. And you didn't go to training for it. You didn't go to school for it. It just pours out of you and it's amazing. And people are like, wow, can I have one of those? But too often we push that aside and say, no, that's not worth anything. That's not really going to make a living for me. No, that's not, I can't do, it's just a hobby. And we distance ourselves from where our natural gifts are, because we live in a world and a society that tells us well, no, you've got to do this. You got to jump through this hoop. You got to get this education in order for it to mean anything. And that's wrong. That's wrong. You know, the royal we, I've been posting videos for a long time, and what comes out of me is just what's natural. It's the gift that's within me, and therefore it's a passion, it's a fire, it's a burning that I talk, that I create videos. I don't have a psychological degree, if that makes any sense. I don't have a psychology degree, and I don't need one. It has its place, and there are people who are psychologists, and they have their degrees, and good for them. They help people understand the nature of certain disorders, and that's fine. And that's not my gift, is to help them understand nature disorders. My gift is to help people understand exactly what you understand when you listen to me. What pours out of me and resonates with people is something that I've been given to just continue to do. And whenever people come around and say, well, what qualifies you to talk that way? What qualifies you to paint that way? What qualifies you to play music that way? It's got to come from this place of saying, what qualifications do I need? It's within me and I can do it. And this is exactly what God is saying. What qualifies these people to make the tents? What qualifies these people to furnish them? What qualifies them to iron out the pure gold lampstand, all the accessories, the altar of incense, the altar of burnt offerings? What qualifies people? It says right here. God said, I have appointed. I have given them the skills. I have given them wisdom. And it hasn't taken 10,000 hours, hasn't taken all their life. I am snapping in a way. I'm getting inside of them and opening that door, saying, this is who you are. Be comfortable. Be grateful. Use your gifts. Use your abilities. We've got to stop, Royal We Fellowship, we've got to stop looking at the world, looking at other people, and first of all, saying my skill's not worth anything because it doesn't look like theirs. You know? We really do. We've got to open up the door, allow God to unlock the potential within us. That's going to allow us to do the things that God's called us to do. And forget what the world says about the degrees and whatever else. I mean, sure, there's a place for that. Might make you better. It might not. I've been listening. There's a lot of videos out there of Elon Musk. How many of you know who Elon Musk is? The creator of Tesla, the cars, right? Does other weird things, puts things in space or whatever. Videos of him out there all day long. You can find them saying college, I don't care about college. College, worthless. Waste of time. And I tend, not a waste of time, but he's saying college degree doesn't matter. And I tend to agree with him. The way I see college is basically for people who don't know who they are and what they want to do. So they go to a school where they learn a community tell them who they are and what they need to do. As opposed to them discovering, or it's a great place. Let me just say it this way. Nothing wrong with college. Those who have been in college, those who are paying off college, good for you. I would say college is a great place when, again, you're not yet in tune with who you are or what you want to do, because you discover that, perhaps, or you discover what the world wants you to do. Either way, this is saying the Lord instills in people what they ought to do. We've been conditioned to deny that and not to pay any attention to that. Then the Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, you must observe my Sabbaths. This will be a sign between me and you for the generations to come, so you may know that I am the Lord who makes you holy. Observe the Sabbath because it is holy to you. Anyone who desecrates it will be put to death. The Sabbath is the day of rest. You know, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day, he rested. For 6 days he worked, seventh day he rested. Argument, debate of what's the seventh day. Is it Sunday? Is it Saturday? Well, the point of it is that for 6 days you work, the seventh day you rest. I don't believe it's important to get hung up on what day that is necessarily, because for a lot of people, especially the ancient Hebrew people, it's Saturday represents the seventh day. For non-denominational Christianity, it's Sunday that represents the seventh day, right? It's like at some point you have to say, well, I guess it depends on who came up with the work weeks, who Who developed the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Was that God, or is that Western world civilization? Because whoever came up with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's really where they decided what the seventh day looks like. Modern Western world actually has 2 days of rest, kind of, right? Monday, Tuesday, 5 days of work, 2 days of rest. So it really, the point is that, look, as long as it's 6 days of work, take a day to yourself. Take a day of doing nothing. That is the point. That's the point. Observe the Sabbath because it is holy to you. Anyone who desecrates it is to be put to death. Those who do any work on that day must be cut off from their people. For 6 days, work is to be done, but the seventh day is a day of Sabbath rest, holy to the Lord. Whoever does any work on the Sabbath day is to be put to death. The Israelites are to observe the Sabbath, celebrating it for the generations to come as a lasting covenant. And it's interesting that the day of rest is also a celebration day. So it's not a day of necessarily we'll just laying in the grass looking at the clouds for 8 hours. It's not that. It's a day of celebration. What it really means is you're not focusing on the work. You're not putting your hand to the plow. You're dancing. You're dancing. You're sitting down, laying down, dancing, eating, celebrating, giving thanks to God for what you have. You're clearing your mind of whatever task that you have. Very difficult for people. A lot of people have careers and jobs that they happen to feel they need to take with them everywhere. People have a hard time having weekends or a day to themselves because they constantly have what they have to do on their mind. I fall into that category, right? And so I need to stop. I need to learn myself the importance of having a day where I do nothing but honor and celebrate what the Lord is doing. This is important. It will be a sign between me and the Israelites forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. It really is a refreshing thing to be able to clear your mind, to have a day to yourself. What a refreshing experience, ready to go back into the next day. In my own personal life, this has been an issue. As I've said, I tend to have been burning the candle day in and day out, which goes along with a lot of the modern world views. Those who work hard, nonstop, work 20 hours, work 20 hours a day, sleep 4, get up, do it again, crush it, whatever. It's very difficult to break that and to understand something. In that lifestyle, you tend to grab onto every single idea, and you're trying to get every idea done, and you don't want to miss the ideas. But what this is saying is the Lord saying, no, have a day where you go empty. Let all the ideas just go and be refreshed. And then trust that when you wake up after being refreshed, the best ideas will come back to you, or new ideas, right? It's very difficult for us to try to wrap our minds around this, but we must if we want to be healthy. Because at the end of the day, when we just constantly burn ourselves nonstop and never take rest, we only hurt ourselves. We only knock the years off of our own lives. Not only that, but we disconnect from people. We disconnect from passion. We stop being there for people, if that makes sense. All right? When the Lord finished speaking to Moses on Mount Sinai, he gave him the 2 tablets of the covenant law, the tablets of stone inscribed by the finger of God. So with Moses up in the mountain with God, getting not only the 10 commandments that are going to be the laws, but also all of this stuff that we are talking about. God is instilling all of this way of living, right? So it wasn't just, people just want to focus on the 10 commandments, the laws. That's what we take away, especially in modern Christianity. We take away just the laws. Thou shalt not, thou shalt not. And we miss everything else on what it is that creates a people, that creates a community, that creates something different than the rest of the world. As you see, everything that we've read just now, very little has been focused on the laws. More of it has been focused on lifestyle. And so for you and me, the takeaway here is that we need to really search and seek and develop a better lifestyle. Are we working 6 days and resting on a seventh day? Are we using the skills that God has given us, not paying attention to what people may say about, well, you better make sure you've got, you're not worth anything unless you have 10,000 hours of your skill put in. It's not worth anything unless you go to school and have a degree. It's not. Are we listening to that, or are we using what God has given us naturally and just putting it out there? Are we offering it to a community? These are the things that we really need to consider and focus for the next week. I hope that this resonates with some of you. I hope that this is beginning to transform some of your minds. Pray on this throughout this week. All right. With that, I love you all. Thank you for being here with me. Shabbat Shalom. Have a good Saturday, everybody, and a good rest of your week. We'll be back next Saturday, next Shabbat, to continue on with Exodus, and I'm grateful for that. One more time, for those of you who are interested in the Sunday class, I posted the link. I pinned it to the top. Click on that link, and you can enroll, get registered. If you have time tomorrow for a 2-hour class, if you're not doing anything, you can click that link, get registered. Spend 2 hours with me, learn about narcissism and why it's hurting you and different way to look at it. All right? Love you all. Have a great rest of your weekend.